Okay, today we're talking about composition of functions. So yesterday we reviewed evaluating functions, just putting a number in one function. Today we're going to do composition of functions. So when you're talking about composition of functions, it's just this function operations that uses an output of one function, and then we're going to put it into another function. So it's almost like you're just doing it twice. So when we use composition of functions, its notation looks like this. So here inside of this, you have this g of x, which is what you're used to seeing. But now we're going to take this entire function and put it into the f. So this first example is using a mapping diagram. So if I look at this, f of g of 1. First of all, let's look at what this is telling me to do. This is telling me to take 1 and to put it into g. So if I take 1 and I put it into g, here's 1. When I put it into g, I get 4. So now, after I put 1 into g, I got 4. So if I have this, I have 4. Now it wants me to take 4 and put it into f and see what I get. So if I put 4 into f, I get 8. So f of g of 1 equals 8. So we took 1, we put it into g, and out came 4. Then I take 4, I put it into f, and I got 8. So let's do another one. Again, you'll see these two different notations. This one has this little circle in the middle, but it's the exact same thing. So this one's telling me to take 3 and put it into g. So if I take 3, put it into g, I get 6. So out comes 6. Then I take 6 and I put it into f, and out comes 12. So f of g of 3 equals 12. Okay, we can do the same thing with a table. So this first one says g of f of 3. So I'm going to take 3 and put it into f. So here's my f table. When I put 3 into the f table, I get 1. So out comes 1. I'm going to take 1 and put it into g. So I take positive 1, I put it into the g equation, and out comes 1. So this whole thing equals 1. Okay, let me say that again. I'm going to take 3 and put it into f, out comes 1. And then I take 1, I put it into g, and out comes 1 again. Okay, let's try b. So I'm going to put 4 into f. When I put 4 into f, out comes 2. Then I'm going to take 2 and put it into f again. So I take 2 and put it into f, out comes 0. C, I'm going to put 3 into g. So when I put 3 into g, out comes 4. And when I put 4 into g, out comes 8. And the last one, well, I'm going to put 2 into f. So when I put 2 into f, out comes 0. And when I put 0 into g, I don't know what I get because there's not enough information here. That was a mistake on my part. Sorry, we'll say not enough info. Okay, so that was a mapping diagram, a table, and now let's look at functions. So on the first one, they want me to put 2 into g. So here's the g equation. If I put 2 into g, I would get 6 minus 1 is 5. So out comes 5. Then I'm going to take 5 and put it into f. So here I should have done g of x, f of x. I'm going to put 5 now into the f equation right here. 5 plus 2 is 7. So I put 2 into g, I got 5. I put 5 into the f equation, and out comes 7, which is our final answer. Okay, so let's try number 3. I'm going to put negative 3 into f. So I have negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. So out comes negative 1. Then I'm going to take negative 1 and put it into g. That would be negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. So out comes negative 4, and that's our final answer. So 3 different ways to look at composition of functions with just a number: the mapping diagram, the table, and then the functions. Okay, so then we have this thing where it's going to be the same thing, but now instead of putting a number in, I'm going to insert this whole equation into f. Okay, so here they want me to take the g equation and put it into the f equation. So the g equation is 3x minus 1. So in for the x on the f equation, I'm going to insert 3x minus 1. So I'm going to say 3x minus 1, that goes in for x, plus the 2. Then it's similar to what we did yesterday, where we're just combining like terms. So this would become 3x, negative 1 plus 2 is just positive 1. So f of g of x equals 3x plus 1. So we composed two functions together. So now they want us to go backwards. So now I'm going to take f of x and put it into the g equation. So the f of x equation is x plus 2. So I'm going to write out the g equation. I have 3 times. In for the x, though, I'm going to put this whole equation, x plus 2, then minus 1. So let's simplify that. We're going to distribute 3x plus 6 minus 1. So 3x plus 5. So g of f of x equals 3x plus 5. Okay, here's some different functions. So the first one, we want to take f, put it into g. So the f equation is x over 5. We want to put that into the g equation. So in for the x here, I'm going to put x over 5, and then I subtract 2. Now I can't combine those there, so that's my answer, x over 5 minus 2. Okay, B, they want us to take the f equation and put it into the f equation. Now the f equation is x over 5, so I put that in for the x over top, and that's all over 5. Now that looks kind of weird. We have a fraction over, I'm going to make this a fraction. I can flip and multiply this, so I get x over 25. And that one's a weird one. C, we want to take the f equation, put it into the h equation. So the h equation is a square root of x. So in for x, I need to make that a little taller. So it's a square root of x, but in for the x, I'm going to put the f equation. So square root of x plus 5. So h of f of x equals square root of x over 5. And then the last one, we want to take the g equation and put it into the g equation. So I have g of x equals x minus 2 is our g equation. So in for x, I'm going to put x minus 2, but then I also have that minus 2 on the outside. So if we combine like terms, we get x minus 4. Number 6, so new functions here, we want to take the g equation, put it into the f equation. So we get 3/5 times 1 minus 3x plus 1. So let's simplify that a little bit. We're going to distribute, so 3/5 minus 9/5 x plus 1. And I'm going to combine like terms here. So I have this 3/5 plus this 1. Let's use our handy dandy calculator. So 3/5 plus 1, 1.6, or I like fractions, so 8/5. So negative 9/5 x plus 8/5. And the last one, we want to put the f equation into the g equation. So the g equation is 1 minus 3x. So in for the x, I'm going to put 3/5 x plus 1. Again, let's distribute. So I have 1 minus 9/5 x minus 3. And combine like terms. So 1 minus 3 is negative 2 minus 9/5 x.